Hiya! Thank you for joining me today. Today I'm going to talk about my review for Jumanji Welcome to the Jungle. Now I saw this film about 2 weeks ago and it's something that I've been quite looking forward to. The trailers seem to be really good. It capitalised on that good sort of relationship between The Rock and Kevin Hart, adding in there Jack Black and Karen Gillan. I really love Karen Gillan. I thought she was great in Doctor Who, and she was I like her as Nebula from the Guardians series. She's a really sort of kind of actress I kind of gravitate towards. I'm glad to see her getting these kind of roles, and a role where she's actually able to shine as herself rather than being covered up with sort of Nebula face paint, etc., and people not perhaps knowing quite who she is. But the four of them seem to have really good chemistry in the trailers, and I was really excited for this. Now we went to check this out, hoping for something that was kind of capitalising on that Rock Kevin Hart relationship that you saw in Central Intelligence, which they advertised as, it taking a Big Johnson and a small heart. Yeah, that kind of thing, a little heart and a Big Johnson. It was fun to see those two back together again. But adding in there Jack Black, who for me can be a little bit hit and miss, this film for me had a really sort of good comedic chemistry that seemed to be oozing out of the trailers. With comedic films though, it's sometimes quite tempting to assume that perhaps all the best jokes in the trailer. I have to say in this film that's definitely not the case. I thought Jumanji Welcome to the Jungle was a fantastic film. It had a great message. You start off with these four characters. If you've seen the trailers, this is not spoilers, but you start out with these four individuals who access Jumanji through a video game rather than through the board game, because people don't play board games anymore. And being a video game, and it looked like a sort of older style video game, like a 90s video game, which it was these guys pick it up, they play it, and they get sucked into the machine. Now, I thought that was fantastic. I know the original Jumanji, Jumanji came out, but that was one of the biggest problems with Jumanji, and I'm not particularly emotionally attached to Jumanji, but the idea that Jumanji can cause all this devastation and then reset things back to normal, and yet no one really knows about Jumanji, that it caused all this devastation, and it's far more sort of perilous to people when it's in your environment, and having rhinos and crocodiles and stuff swimming through your house. I think if they tried to do that again, it would have been simply a rehash. This film is a sequel. It's very clearly a sequel. There are things that are happening in the film that make it an absolute sequel, but other than the Jumanji game, it has, let's say, almost no ties whatsoever to its predecessor. So the original idea is there, the idea of this game that you get brought into, and it is there, but it's not, it doesn't do much, if anything at all, to rehash the original. I think that's great. If people want to call it a retelling or something else like that, fine. But it's clearly a sequel, and it is something that I think they made a very smart decision with. The Rock and Kevin Hart, as always, are charming, funny, hilarious, have great chemistry together. Jack Black is fantastic in this film. As I said, he can be a bit hit and miss for me, but in this film he was on form. Playing, a sort of teenage girl trapped within Jack Black's body was fantastic. And Karen Gillan she's a good actress, very good actress, stunning, kicks ass in this film, and he's great, really good, and holds her own against everyone else in the film, who you would argue are more experienced and certainly more experienced comedic hands. She's not given quite so much comedy to do in the film, more of the action stuff and reacting back off other people, but the scenes where she does get to do some physical comedy are some of the funny scenes in the film. I have to say, I laughed throughout the film. That is it for me as a comedy film. It ticked all the boxes, it did everything I wanted to see. It's the funniest film I've seen in quite some time, at least since I saw The Room. And with that in mind, I couldn't recommend this higher. Now, I'm going to give Jumanji a 9 out of 10. I'm going to explain that because, I tend to reserve quite high scores. for really, really, really good films, this is a great film. Fun, entertaining, it's logical, it has good plot decisions, it hinges and leverages some of the tropes of video game worlds. It respects its sort of heritage with the original film. And for me, I can't think of anything they could have really done to improve it as a sequel to the original Jumanji. And frankly, it's far better than the original Jumanji. So with that in mind, as a comedy film, as a sort of comedy action adventure type film, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10, judging it against the kind of film it is. It's a fantastic film. I would recommend everyone go and see it. We had probably maybe 30 or 40 people in the cinema, so it wasn't a massively packed cinema. And yet, really good laughter, everyone enjoying the film, and it was a real treat to watch. So I would recommend that film to anyone, and I hope that this means that that we can get back to understanding that The Rock, for example, can be fantastic in these kind of films, provided the idea and the sort of relationships and the writing is good. This exceeded stuff like last year's Baywatch in so many ways. So much funnier, so much more entertaining. And this is the kind of stuff that for me The Rock should be doing. Better written stuff. Stuff that is more... it gives him actually more range to do. I felt that the Baywatch film gave him very little range in that film whatsoever. This gave him some range to play. He was playing a little bit against type. A sort of weedy kid trapped in The Rock's body. Great stuff, great juxtaposition, reversed with the Kevin Hart situation and with all the characters. They're all, archetypal kind of stereotypical types of teenagers placed in almost the opposite body of an adult. And that was well done, well exploited, well done, great film. So, if you've seen it, happy to hear what people's comments are on Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle. I thoroughly recommend people go and see this film. I thought it was fantastic. If there are any comments, please let me know down below. I look forward to hearing from everyone. And yeah, it's good to be back, good to be watching films again, and I'm looking forward to going and seeing quite a lot more stuff in the next couple of weeks. Take care, everyone. Till again soon, and as ever, bye! Bye!